Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock on a Monday, which means it's time for a 5x5. Now, the 5x5 is one of my favourite videos of the week. The idea is that I take 5 different subjects. I spend 5 minutes talking about each subject. There is a countdown timer at the bottom of the screen. When the countdown goes to 0, I move on to the next subject. It's quick, it's snappy, you never know what you're going to get. Now, the last few weeks on the 5x5s, I've been doing a live performance video to start them off, and this has proven really popular. I think that a lot of the time when you learn, the best way to learn is from kind of watching other magicians perform in the real world. I've picked up so many tips from watching other magicians perform in kind of a real world gigging situation. So I'm going to show you a video first of all of me doing a performance in a real world environment, and then when I've done that, the second section is going to be a commentary track over the top. So I'm going to play the same footage, but I'm going to run a commentary track over the top, and I'm going to go through what I was doing, why I was doing it, the thought process, and picking up on little things that I did and why I did them. Like I said, this is a really popular thing. A lot of people have been asking me to do more of these. So those are going to be the first 2 segments, and then we're going to get into some other fun stuff as well, including spotlighting an older routine for you guys that is absolutely killer. But without further ado, let's start off by looking at a live performance of me in action at a game. Sorry. So, you keep an eye on him, make sure he doesn't move. Right, pack of 52 playing cards, 52 cards. 52 possibilities. We're going to try and do this with somebody else. I'm going to get someone to come up to the table and help me. I'm going to get you. Will you come up and help me? Can you hold her beer? That's wonderful. What's your name? Give Katie a big, massive round of applause. Katie, do me a favour. 52 cards. Are they all there? Remind me never to play cards with you if you can counter deck that fast. That was impressive. Right, this is what we're going to do. Katie, I'm going to give the cards a quick shuffle. I'm going to get you to pick a card. But what I need you to do right now, I need you to pick a number card, not a picture card. So in other words, don't take a jack, queen, or a king. Any number card would be good. Take a number card. No! Sorry. You know what? I'll do it like this. I'll just spread through the cards, take any card. By the way, don't take the top card because I know what the top card is. Or the bottom card because I know what the bottom card is. By the way, they're all different. I should have shown you that. One last thing, don't let me make you pick a card. You genuinely can't have any one you want. Any card's fine. Any card. Just take the card. Thank you. Sit down. Remember, at the end, if you're good, only fantastic. What's your name again? Katie. Katie. I can't do that. That was cheating. That was making you pick that card. I won't do it like that. And it won't work with the Queen of Spades, in all honesty. Just reach and touch a card. That'd be the best bet. Just touch that one. Take it, but I said not the Queen of Spades. You see that you got the Queen of Spades. Show everyone. You don't want to take the Queen of Spades. There's 52 cards in there. Don't take the Queen because you know what? We'll do it like this. What I'll do is I'll just go through the cards one at a time. Just touch one like that. Anyone. Are you sure you want that one? Okay. Can you remember the card, Katie? It's very important that everybody remembers the card. And oh, sorry, not the Queen. I'll do it like this. I'll go through the cards. Just say stop anytime you want to. Ideally before I get to the end. I'll count to 3. I'll start. You say stop. 1, 2, 3. I haven't actually started yet. Third time lucky. Say stop. That's great. Can you remember the card right there that you stopped? Remember the card. Show everyone. Don't show me. It's very... You know what? I'll leave it on top and I'll riffle down. That way you'll get a different one. So just say stop. Perfect. I don't want to see the card, so don't take the 8. Take the one next to it. Remember the card. Show everyone. Don't show me. You know what? There's only one way for this. I'll cut cards onto the table like this. As I do, just say stop. Right there. Fantastic. You sure you don't want a different card? You know what? This is silly. I'll tell you what. Actually, can I have my Queen of Spades back? Thanks very much. You know what? We'll spread them out face up. Take any card you want to, but make it a number card. That'd be good. Sure you want that one? Change your mind? No. Happy in mind you got? Okay, cool. Put it right there. Put it right there. What I want you to do is sign your name on the face. Big, massive letters. That's wonderful. While she's doing that, and underneath, just put something just completely random so we know it's yours. While she's doing that, I'll tell you all the joke. What was Piglet doing with his head down the toilet? Don't know. Looking for poo. Don't tell that one at school. Right, okay. You're going to put the card back in the pack. You ready? Just say stop. That's lovely. Put the card back there. Okay, I'm going to show you guys the difference right now between sleight of hand and real magic. And there is a difference.
I'm going to show you the difference right now. Now, sleight of hand means the hand is faster than the eye. You've probably heard of that before. I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to take one card out of the pack, the 8 of clubs, not your card. This is sleight of hand. Watch the 8, watch the hand. Keep one eye on the hand, one eye on the 8, one eye on me. We'll leave an extra eye, you can share with her. Okay. It looks like this. You take the 8, you shake the 8 in midair, and as you do in midair, it actually changes into the 7. And apparently I'm the only one impressed by that, but that's fine. No, please stop. Oh, you have. No, Katie, it's like this. What I want you to do is just rub the 7 for me. Turn it over. Show everyone. They'll give you a big, massive round of applause. Hey! Brilliant. So, that's sleight of hand. The hand is faster than the eye. Everyone's heard of sleight of hand before. We're going to give you an example of real magic. Take half the cards for me. There you go. And what I want you to do is spread them out like a magician would. That's wonderful. Spread them out like a magician. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to put your 3 with your name on it right there. And what I'd like you to do is give the cards a very quick shuffle. And then put the cards right there when you finish shuffling on top of that packet. Okay? That's fantastic. No, that's a box. Oh, no, that's fine. Where are you from? I'll go slower. Do it again. We'll do it again. Right, okay, here we go. So this is real magic. Are you ready? Yeah. You shuffled the card in the pack. Is that fair to say? You lost it in there. Watch this. No moves. But one move. This is the one move. Just like that. What happens, guys, is one card flies up in the air, does 6 somersaults invisibly, I counted, and lands right there underneath the card box. One card and one card only. Turn it over. Have a look. Seriously. It's the one with the name on it. Now, I can't tell you how that works, because frankly I get kicked out the magic circle. Not that I'm that bothered, but I can tell you how it doesn't work. This is how most people think it works, guys. Most people think that I put the card on the table, and then when you're not looking, I put the box on top. Be honest, guys, is that what you thought I did? Most people think I do that. I don't do. Did you think I did that, Katie?
I don't know how you did it.
Well, I didn't do that. Honestly. Look, push it in yourself. Very good. You see, it's when I do this. That's when it happens. Come a bit closer to the table, Katie, because now, look, there's one card in the card box. One card only. Take it, turn it over, have a look. Thank you! Guys, watch the card. Do you see the signature? That verifies this is Katie's card. Watch the signature. Katie, about halfway down. Are you ready? Say go, Katie.
Go.
Just like that, the entire deck disappears except for the 3. Katie, look into the box. That'll be the rest of the box. Thank you! Go. Yeah. Katie, we're going to do it again. Look, nothing under the box. Put your finger gently on top of the box. I'm going to put the card back in the middle. Just say stop. Stop. Right there. There you go. I'm going to get it underneath the box again. Now, Katie, test conditions right now. If you think I've cheated, you can have a little peek underneath. I'm a tiny bit offended about that. Whatever. Move on. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. If I told you it was under the box now, would that be good?
It'll blow my mind.
You wouldn't be the first one to say it. Parlour Magician of the Year. Have a look. Would have been good. No, it's even better now, Katie, because now there's one card and one card only inside the box. Inside the box. One card only. If that's your card, they're going to go absolutely crazy. Have a look at it, Katie. Show everybody! But Katie, hang on. See, this is the bit that you remember forever. When you go home and tell people about this, you will tell people about this very moment. Katie, do you want this to happen in 1, 2, or 3 seconds?
3.
3. 1, 2, 3. And just like that, every single card in the deck disappears except for the 3. And the reason is over here. That would be every other card. Thank you very much. I'll leave that away. There's a tradition with magicians. I don't know if you know this. They always have to give a gift to the spectator that's always done a really good job for them. And you did a really good job, so I'm going to give you a gift. Okay? This is my wallet. I get too excited, there's nothing in it. No money, a few credit cards, a few business cards. I'm available for bookings. I do birthdays, anniversaries. I don't do kids' gigs. Sorry. But look, I'd make an exception for you because you're cute. Smile. There you go. But check this out. Inside this section of my wallet right here, right inside here, I want you to see, there is an envelope. I placed this envelope in my wallet from the very, very beginning. Earlier on today, I placed this wallet into my this envelope, into my wallet. It's sealed. You can tell everyone it really is sealed down. Mm-hmm. Yeah, really is.
Yeah.
This is the weirdest thing ever, and guys, this is something you remember forever. This was in my wallet from yesterday. It's a sealed envelope inside a section of my wallet which has been in my pocket the entire act. Sealed envelope. Open it up. Take out what's in there and show everybody. And wait for them to give you a huge, massive round of applause.
Okay, so the live performance that I've decided to use this week is actually a quite old clip of me. This is from a few years ago. And the reason I'm using this is because I've had a few people say on the channel, or ask questions on the channel, how do you actually perform a card routine in a parlour setting? And specifically, I was told that the card in the box routine that I've talked about on the channel before can't work in a parlour setting where everybody is focused on one area, and instead can only work in sort of a table hopping environment. So I wanted to show you this to prove A, that's not the case, and B, talk about how you can actually use something like the card in the box in a parlour setting. So this is an outdoor private party. It's a 40th birthday party. There's about 20 people there, 25 people. They're all gathered around outside in a fairly large garden. As you can see, I've got a table there, I've got a box, and that's it. And this whole set runs for almost 10 minutes. Now, when you think your average parlour show is half an hour, this one sequence of routines is a third of the show. And it's very, very entertaining as well. Now, the first thing I want you to notice, when I brought the lady up to help me, I was very confident about that. I need someone to help me. Can you help me, please? And the reason I think that's important is, one thing I hear is that a lot of magicians struggle with bringing people up on stage. They worry what happens if that person says no. Really, it's a confidence thing. You know, I think you have to establish at the beginning of your show that you're going to have fun with the spectators, but you're not going to like insult them or make them look stupid. And the second thing is, they just need to understand that, you know, if you are confident about what you're doing, then you'll never have a problem. Now, in terms of the actual routine, you'll notice that before I'm even going into the card in the box segment, I'm doing this old bit where you have someone pick a card and they continually pick the same card. I love doing this. This is a really fun segment for me. It's something that I've been doing for years. I drop in and out of various different routines. It's great at the beginning of anything you do, whether that be ambitious card, a rising card, card in the box, whatever. Now, one thing I like to do is I like to use a different force every single time, and you'll probably notice that. So the first time, I actually get them to pick a card after a series of gags. Then I do a classic force. Then I do an under the spread cull force. Then I do a riffle force. Then I do a slip force. Then I do a timing force. And I finish off with this moment right here, where I say, can I have your card back? And I just palm it off and bring it out their ear, which gets a great reaction. Now, all this is doing is establishing credibility. You're showing that you're pretty good with the deck of cards. People obviously know that you're making them pick the same card every single time, but it's a really funny, interactive bit. And I think that's the thing with card magic. What you want to do is you want to very early on show people that you're capable of a lot and you've established credibility, and this is not going to be like any other card trick they've seen. Having said that, this is not the opening routine to this show. I think the opening routine to this show was a coin to cross, or a coin routine. And again, I've talked on the channel that I do sometimes, I break my own rules, but I rarely open up with a card trick, although it can happen. So now we're into the actual main card and the box routine. You know, the other thing that people say to me is, how do you control a card? Well, I have hundreds of different ways of controlling a card, but that running cut sequence that I use there, to be honest, generally as a rule, that's the way I tend to control cards a lot of the time. Because I look for the most simple approach to doing something. And simple doesn't necessarily mean easy. In this case, that is the easiest approach. It doesn't necessarily mean easy, though. Simple can be very, very difficult. It's just direct. One of my pet hates, I don't know about you guys, one of my pet hates is somebody who uses a pass and then shuffles the cards. The whole point of doing a pass is that the cards don't need to be shuffled. You know, if you're shuffling, why are you even bothering doing a pass? You know, that's just kind of my thought process on that. But anyway, so with this routine, let's get back to the routine. You know, I've found her card, and I do like that hook line. You'll hear me use that hook line in quite a few routines, which is, I'm going to show you the difference between sleight of hand and real magic. It allows me to find their card in a very fancy way. which allows me to load the card into the box. Because obviously I'm now in a situation where she's apparently shuffled the card into the deck, but really I've loaded it onto the box. Now, there's an example right there. She put the half a deck onto the box that I'd loaded the card under, and if you watch carefully, the box had split. And this is one of those situations that people ask me about in Q&As. Oh, what happens if that happens and the spectator does something? And my attitude is to just not worry about it and just move on. 9 times out of 10, I don't want to try and go, I don't want to be thinking to myself, oh my God, no, she's realised what's happened. That's not the issue. You just don't make a mountain out of a molehill. And nobody will notice, to be perfectly honest. Now, the beautiful thing about this card in the box is I'm now in a situation where I'm doing this pseudo explanation. And I genuinely think the card in the box is a masterclass in misdirection. And I think that this sort of ballsy approach to card magic is something that will really set you apart. It really will. Now, I've loaded the box again, but everyone's focus is here. Nobody thinks that I've loaded the box. And notice that, boom, I have them turn over the card. That's where I want the focus to be. I put the card towards them. Notice I'm flicking that card. I'm bringing everybody's attention to that card. I don't want them to look at the deck. I don't want them to look at the box because I've already loaded the deck underneath it. And you can see from the reaction from her and the rest of the audience that no one detects or suspects what's going on at this point. And one of the key things in this routine, and it's a perfect example of misdirection, is that the moves are being done on the offbeat. She sees the card appear underneath the box. She's turning it over. I'm doing a move. She sees the deck appear underneath the box. As she does, I'm doing a move. And that's always the case. Because she's in a situation now where I've already loaded the card into the box. When did I load the card into the box? I loaded the card into the box when she wasn't looking. And really that's the key. It's about understanding on beats and understanding off beats and making sure that any dirty moves are taking place during the offbeat and not the onbeat. And that's very, very important. So what I like about this moment right here in the routine is, she's thinking the card's going under the box, and then it goes even more impressive and it goes inside the box. And then notice everybody's looking at the card that's inside the box, and now I've loaded the deck. And if you learn one thing and one thing only from this routine or from this particular segment on this 5x5, understand that the only way to be able to do a routine like this, the only way to do a routine where there's lots of moments where you're being very blatant and doing stuff under the nose of the spectators. And don't forget, I've got an entire audience that's burning the deck as well. The only way is to do it over and over again and not stress about it. I think that's important. Don't stress about anything. Occasionally you will get caught. Occasionally you will get caught when you're first doing the routines. But the only way to get good at a routine like this is to do it over and over again. Now, this was a wallet I used a lot back in the day. Don't use it as much these days. It's a Matthew Wright wallet, and I think it's called Foresight or Foreseen or something like that. And it allows you to. It's a peak wallet that allows you to get the peak of 4 cards at the same time, 4 business cards at the same time, but it's also a card to wallet, and it's actually a really nice wallet. It's not just a card to wallet, it's a card to envelope, and I do really like card to envelope. Specifically, this wallet is really nice because it goes under that section there, and it's almost impossible to pull out. Now, the last thing that I'll talk about on this video is building up this moment, and it's something that a lot of magicians really struggle with. So rather than just going, look, there's an envelope, open it up, and really rushing to that, it's kind of almost doing this recap thing where I'm saying, look, think about this for a minute. This wallet has been in my pocket the whole time. This sealed envelope has been inside this wallet from the very beginning. Just building up the impossibility of what you're about to do. If this is going to be the finale to the routine, you have to build up that impossibility. And then you get yourself into that situation where she takes the card out, she's impressed, the rest of the audience are impressed, she helps, that's the end of the routine, job done. So, yeah, I mean, like I say, the important things to learn from this performance is A, building up each magical moment, B, having fun with the spectators. I think it's very important to have fun with the spectators. That whole section at the beginning where I was getting her to pick the card over and over again, I was having fun with the spectator. I was also having fun with the rest of the audience. And don't forget, you're a performer. It should be fun. And then obviously understanding on beat and off beat and the principles of misdirection. And the principles of misdirection basically meaning you do the move when people aren't looking. That's it. So yeah, I hope that helps. Okay, guys, so one thing that I like to do on the 5x5 episodes is I like to bring your attention or spotlight an older trick that I don't see many people doing that is just as good today as it was all those years ago. And that's what I'm going to do with these poker chips. I'm going to perform a routine by an absolute legend of the magic community. I do not use those words lightly. I am, of course, talking about Gary Jones, who, in my opinion, has created and performed and innovated more awesome tricks than pretty much anybody I know. So this is called Metal Sheep, and Gary originally published this, as far as I'm aware, in a DVD that came out through Full 52, which was Dave Forrest's production company that's no longer here, called Automino. I think it was Automino number 2 that it was actually in, and it was a collection of like self-working magic or semi-automatic magic. He then brought out a set called The Ammo, which was a collection of poker chips and routines that you could do with the poker chips. These are actually the poker chips from the Ammo, but the original version used coins. Now, you can still pick up Autonomous number 2. You can pick up the Ammo occasionally if you look at the Facebook selling sites, but Gary has got a whole bunch of books as well. He's got Life's a Beach Volume 1, Volume 2. He's just brought out a book with Chris Congreve. I bet it's in print somewhere. If you reach out to Gary and ask him, I bet it's in print somewhere, but you can pick up the DVD project it was originally on. It's one of the strongest routines to do in the real world, and it's why I wanted to bring your attention to it, because I don't see anyone doing it, and I love performing this. So I'm gonna show it to you. It uses a stack of poker chips. I've got Jack behind the camera. Jack, do you see these poker chips?
Yep.
Good stuff. So I've got 2 green ones, and I've got all of these pink ones as well. Now, the pink ones are worth 1,000, the green ones are worth 5, but to be honest, it's not really about what the chips are worth or what they're not worth. I'm going to use these chips to demonstrate to you a sleight of hand technique that I have spent years practicing that is incredible. And I'm telling you right now, I'm going to do this move and you won't see it, even though I've told you I'm going to do a move. Normally magicians and people that do sleight of hand don't tell you what's going to happen ahead of time. They want the element of surprise. Jack, I'm telling you what I'm going to do here, buddy. So the 2 green chips go 1 in each hand. Do you see those? Is that fair?
That's fair.
And the pink chips are on the table. The green chips are here. And all I'm going to do is pick up the pink chips like this. That's fair, right?
Yep.
Now watch the move. That's the move. Now, if I told you that now the two green chips were together, you might be impressed, but you might not, because I banged my hands together. And in all honesty, in magic, we call that a feint. I haven't actually done anything yet, as you can see. I still have to do the move, but this is where the move happens. Burn my hands, make sure I don't cheat. To be clear, Jack, I'm going to cheat. I just don't want you to catch me. So burn my hands, watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that fair?
Yeah.
So I told you I'm going to get the 2 green chips together. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
1, 2, 3. Did you see it happen?
No.
You didn't?
No.
So that would be fairly impressive, right?
What?
If the pink ones were over there and the green chips are over there, I think that would be pretty special. Ta-da! There it is. So it's based, for magical historians or people that know their coin magic, Gary based this on the old thieves and sheep routine, but what he's added to it makes it just absolutely spectacular. The nice thing is, you're left, whether you use coins or chips, you're left in a situation where you can put these chips away, for example, and go into like a chips across type routine. These are perfect for doing that. Or if you're using coins, you can get into a coins across routine. If you want to keep just one of the green chips out and one of the pink chips out, you can put the rest of them away, and then you're left with an incredible, you can go into a copper silver. So for example, I could say, look, I've got the pink one, I've got the green one, I'm going to take the green one here, watch as I make them change places. So I can go into anything that I want to go into from that point. And that's what's really nice about this. It's a great opening routine, because a lot of the time when you're doing magic, especially sleight of hand based magic, you want to do something incredible at the beginning that the spectators can burn your hands and it just looks absolutely impossible. And this is that thing. And then you can transition into longer and more complicated routines as and when you move forward. So there you go. It's called Metal Sheep. You can definitely get it from one of Gary's published books, but if you want to, I've checked before I filmed this, you can still get Automata number 2, even though full 52 aren't really around anymore. You can still get Automata number 2 from various different places, so you can pick it up from there, and Gary goes into it in great detail. It's highly recommended. Okay, so this Saturday, guys, we have an interview coming up with Anthony Linden. Now, Anthony Linden, I've been wanting to get on this channel for a while. He is absolutely amazing. Anthony is responsible for creating my favorite stage trick. If you've ever heard me talk about the suit jacket escape, well, Anthony is the guy that created this. He is an incredible comedy magician, an incredible performer, got an awesome stage presence, and he's got a wealth of experience as well. So he's going to be interviewed on the channel this week, and what I'd like to do now is just give you a little sneak peek of the interview coming soon with Anthony Linden.
Is to do what I do. And, you know, I could have been selling mutual funds for 20 years. I could have been selling IT for the last 20 years. And I got to tell you, sometimes I wish I took them up. But that wasn't that got me, you know, the thought of putting on that suit and tie to go talk about, you know, the AS500 enterprise level server, my eyes start to glaze over. But put me in the booth or put me in front of customers or in a sales situation where I could take my knowledge of magic, couple it with their product information. And my method was really simple. I said to myself, I want to use my magic to demonstrate their product. How do I do that? And I had maybe 25 tricks in my repertoire. So it was always this puzzle. How do I put them together? Let me give everybody a fantastic demonstration. One of my most favorite things is at the Fector convention. I forget who I bought it from, but I bought a beautiful speed loading lapel style wallet, but it wasn't the bulky lapel. It was like it actually looked like a wallet somebody would hear. So I love to do card to wallet. And something as simple as saying, because, you know, if favorite thing was to say to a company that maybe had a search engine capability or a database, I'd say, well, yeah, listen, I've turned my deck of cards into your database. I'm going to use your technology to help me find this card. So name any card, 5 of spades. Well, you know, imagine the mundane of all your people manually sorting these records. What if there was a way just to instantly access that data, fast, reliable, bang, card, take their card out of the wallet? Now it's not card to wallet. Now it's a representation of how their technology can solve a problem. And I'll tell you, the minute I figured this out, I would go into these hospitality suites. I would be in the booth, and it was just like, man, I can't wait to show you this stuff. I am so excited to tell you about this. I'm also really excited to get paid, but that was it. And that was that. And you know, there were times, I swear to God, there were times I specifically remember this one financial services trade show. We're in the Sands Convention Center in Las Vegas. These sales guys had been out drinking. Of course, as the magician, I'm going to bed early, resting my feet so I can give 100%. Because if I don't give 100%, I get shit. If the sales guys go out and drink all night, well, that's okay. So there's a double standard there, and I learned that real fast. On more than one occasion, I remember guys coming up to me and just saying, buddy, can you just tone it down a little bit, man? Like, you know, basically, you're kind of like making us look stupid over here. And I'd say to them, I don't answer to you. See that guy over there? I answer to him, and he's paying me to do this. Yeah, I will. But I was, you know, part of the people skills was, and you see, this is, oh man, there's so much to the stuff that guys like Seth Kramer, that in my opinion, probably one of the best trade show magicians, guys like Seth Kramer. Oh, the guy's a master. Eddie Tulloch reincarnated. But I would go to these guys and I'd say to them, most of these trade show badges were color coded. So they would classify the attendees. So I'd go to the guys and I'd say, who are you looking for? What does that mean? You're looking for orange badges? Okay. So I would do my spiel, and then I would prospect for the guys. And I'd have a call to action at the end of it. And if this guy looked like an orange badge and I read his title, if it was impressive enough, I'd say, do you know what, Bob? Tell you what, Bob, come over here just for a second. Bob's going, what are you doing, Magic Boy? I need you to talk to Bill. And I'd literally drag the guy into the booth and do the handoff to the sales guy. And this is why the sales guys start going, hey, this Magic Boy ain't so bad after all. So now they start liking it. So when they get back to head office and they sit around and they do their debrief on Magic Boy, was it worth 5 nights accommodation, 2 flights and all this money? All of a sudden these guys say, yeah, you know what? Maybe, yeah, that wasn't, and this is how I, did work for the second largest bank in Canada for 7 years, trade shows all across the country by being a part of their team. I just happened to be doing the tricks, but I had to help them achieve their objectives. And, this Dale Carnegie 101, man, you can get anything you want as long as you help everybody else get what they want.
Okay, so I'm going to do a review now, and the review I'm going to be doing is of The Only One by Martin Brisas. I think I said that correctly. And it's by Mysteries Magic. TV rights are not included with the purchase, so there you go. And I think it says with this deck you'll be able to predict the only printed card in a deck of cards. Resets in less than 3 seconds, ideal for close-up or parlor, 360-degree angle. I've had a few people ask me to review it, so that is exactly what I'm doing. And the best way to review a product is to start off by performing it for you guys so you can see exactly what this trick is all about. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to perform it on Jack, who's sitting behind the camera. Jack, I've got 2 decks of cards here. This is a real deck. And this here is an invisible deck. You have to use your imagination. The way that you can tell the two apart, by the way, is this one here you can see. This one here is invisible. That's the big difference. So I'm going to take the invisible deck and throw it to you, Jack. And if you can catch this, that would be great. Did you get it?
Yep.
Awesome. Now, you're going to make all the choices. In that invisible deck, there's 52 playing cards. They're made up of clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds. But if you break it down, it's really just red cards and black cards. So you're going to make all the choices. And I want you to start off by removing either the red cards or the black cards from the deck. Which ones would you like to remove?
Remove the reds.
You're going to remove the red. So that leaves you with the black cards. Is that fair?
Yep.
Do you want to change your mind, or are you cool with that?
I'm cool.
Okay, brilliant. So you're left with the black cards. And again, you're going to make more choices. So now you've got 26 cards. We've gone from 52 cards to 26 cards. We're going to get rid of 13 now because you've got all of the clubs and you've got all of the spades. Which ones would you like to remove now? Whichever ones you say, we'll get rid of them just like we did the red cards. Which ones would you like to remove?
Get rid of the spades.
You're going to get rid of the spades.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Because I don't want you saying later on, Jack, I made you do this. If you're happy with that, that's fine. But the choices are ultimately all yours.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so you're going to get rid of the spades. Now we've gone from 52 cards to 26 cards to 13 cards because now we've got all the clubs. Now we're going to get rid of a few more cards now. Would you like to get rid of the number cards or the picture cards? Which ones would you like to have gone?
The picture cards.
Okay, so we've got rid of another 3 cards. So now we've gone down to just 10 cards, Jack, which is the ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Of clubs. This is your final decision. When I snap my fingers, you're going to eliminate and get rid of every single card and leave yourself with one of those 10 cards. Do that now.
Okay.
Which one are you left with?
The 7.
Of clubs.
Yep.
And do you want to change your mind?
Nope.
Now, remember I said I've got a real deck and I've got an invisible deck.
Yep.
That was true. But the real deck is kind of weird. And what's weird about it is these cards are blank. These are what cards look like before they're printed. It's very difficult to get a deck of playing cards like this, Jack. You got to go to the printers and they print them out for you. But you've got to get them before you go to the printers. It's a very difficult thing to do. And you probably noticed there is actually one card in this deck that's actually printed.
Oh, yeah.
It is the only card that's printed in this deck. I forgot to mention that to you, but it's important that you know that. This is literally the only card that's printed in the deck. All of the cards are completely blank, one card that's printed. And you could have picked any card, couldn't you? I mean, you had a completely and totally free choice. I couldn't possibly known which card you would have ended up with, which is why it's interesting that the only card that's printed in this deck is the 7 of clubs, which is the card that you decided to be left with.
What?
Ta-da. So there you go. That's the only one. It's a very cool trick. It does what it says on the tin. You get 2 decks of cards because there's a handling. I just used the 1 deck version, but there is a 2 deck version, which is even cleaner. But to be honest, I think most people that buy this, that end up working it, they're probably just going to go with the 1 deck version because there's very little added with the 2 deck version. It means you've got to carry 2 decks of cards around with you, and you can't bring the cards out until they've started making decisions. So I think that the 1 deck version is actually better, but you know, obviously the choice there is yours. There's lots of different variations of this sort of trick. We've looked at, on this channel before, we've looked at Alone by David Regal. We've looked at Cameron Francis's Loner, and there's pros and cons of all of these tricks. There's pros and cons of every single one of them, and there's pros and cons of this trick as well. It's a good trick. It's well made. The instructions are good. In all honesty, I don't think it's as good as Alone or Loner. I think that Alone and Loner are better. If you know Alone, you can do what you've just seen me do, but with 1 deck of cards. And Loner is exactly the same, but it doesn't even use although it uses a gimmick deck, it doesn't use the same principle that this uses, that is also incorporated by Alone by David Regal. So it's good, and if you haven't got one like this, then you might want to get it, but I'd recommend Loner instead, to be perfectly honest, or Alone. I'm going to give this 80%. It's good, but there's better versions of this on the market. So there you go, guys. That is another 5x5 in the bag. Thank you very much for watching. Really, really appreciate it. Do me a favor and let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you want to see more videos like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be back again next Monday with another 5x5. I'm going to be back tomorrow with 3 videos. At 2 o'clock, we're going to do a shorts. At 6 o'clock, we're going to do a live. And at 9 o'clock, I'm going to be back here with a Talk Magic interview. So thank you once again for watching. I'll see you again soon. My name's Craig from Magic TV.